Good morning. Well, I have only managed to script, produce, film, edit, launch one video this week, but there is really good reason for that, which I will tell you all about if you stick around. But of course, I will prioritise your questions. So this week I have been back in schools. I created a whole school professional development session, which is about explaining and launching my videos and worksheets with schools so they know that for any topic that they want to teach to a chaotic class, a class where some of the children have worked brilliantly for 6 months and some of them have done no work, there is a video that explains how to teach every single one of those topics apart from the last 12 of applied maths that I'm still working on. And I've gone back to schools that I've worked with in the past, so it's just amazing. It's always such a privilege to be invited in to work in schools. I'm blown away by it that they trust me, and it's just such a pleasure and a privilege to work with staff, especially now when they're feeling really, really stressed and vulnerable and overwhelmed. So what else do? I teach them about the worksheets, and then mainly I listen. So I tour around the different year groups, early years, infants, lower juniors, upper juniors. So that's 4 to 6, 5 to 7, 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and 9 to 11, and just listen and give them some insights and advice. And then we chat together as a school. My professional development is like everything I do in teaching. It's really important to create the space for teachers to talk and be heard and to process and organise their thoughts. They want some fast input, they want some insights, but they need to be heard and they need support that comes from where they actually are and the challenges they're actually experiencing. So in schools right now, some year groups have got really extreme problems. Year 3 in particular, the series that I created on Catch Up Ready for Year 3 is proving really useful for teachers who've never seen children coming in at that low standard before, because so much happens in the last 6 months of Year 2. Children grow up so much, and all that was missed for a lot of children. And they are prepared for SATs, so they are really heavily drilled, and that's gone too. And the impact is pretty profound, especially where children are changing schools, which they often are. Infants to juniors at age 7. So we've done some specific work on that. The other thing I'm finding is that because teachers are so under pressure to catch up the curriculum, as they always do in these circumstances, they focus on the number work, the core number work, and that's absolutely right. It matters because so much more maths is built from that core, whereas with the applied maths, that's much less the case. But there's a caveat to that being right, and that is that a lot of classes are struggling with their behaviour because they've not been disciplined for so long. They are tired coming back in, and teachers are also exhausted. And a discipline is an issue. And if you keep hammering into the number work all the time, these issues tend to exacerbate. So it's really important, if things are feeling on top of you and you're feeling stressed, just to take a break and do an applied topic for that reason. With the applied topics, it resets everything. So it's much less the case that the children who always do well, because often the entry point for an applied topic is very low, and it's just different. So everyone can access it again, which is really nice, and it just feels different, and you can do practical activities that run all day and run into art and science, and just take a break, calm down. You know, a lot of teachers are very close to going off ill. If you spend a couple of days just junking the rest of your timetable but doing an applied maths topic really well, that's a phenomenal thing if it leads to the class and you calming down, getting a break, feeling a bit more positive about things. So the video I sent live after the last live stream was on coordinates and transformations, and of course coordinates is a lovely topic in the run into Christmas. And the one that's going live at 9:30 today after this live stream is area. And there's so much in area. And I've just done the whole primary journey in one video, so that if you do choose to do this topic this year, you can do it in a really powerful way and know the whole journey. So if children miss stuff, you know how to fill that in. And if children, it's with low floor, high ceiling teaching, you think, most teachers think it's the children who always fly, but with low floor, high ceiling teaching, it's often not. It could be your child who's had their head in their hands and is really stressed with maths and has been really struggling with it, who suddenly flies with an applied topic. And because you've learnt the whole gamut right through primary school, you can stretch them. And in the videos, I've taken time to explain some of the deeper stuff that primary school teachers often miss because they're not maths specialists. So you can play around with that should you choose to, should it feel right to, because you've got a child who's asking or a child who's interested. You can meet them and stretch them. So there are a couple of key learnings from being in school. But the main one is just, it's part of a teacher journey to struggle with stress at times. And over the years in my training, I've often picked up on the teachers who are close to breaking point at break and lunch times or before or after training, and just talk to them. And they always feel, I can't possibly go off work with stress because I'd be letting everyone down and I'd be letting myself down. I'm too embarrassed. And I tell you what, the life experience taking a journey with stress and actually giving in for a while, taking some time off work, taking time to get some counselling, address your issues. You learn so much and you become someone who can hold the hand of staff who are that close to breakdown, and those staff are gold dust in school. So don't be ashamed if that's a journey you need to take now. Ask for help. And I think I'm going to leave that video there today. There are lots of other things I could talk about, but I think that's enough. I'll come back and talk about some of the other things next week. This week I'm going to be working on 3D shape and volume. So if you have any thoughts or favourite tasks on those, please do send them my way. I'd love to know so I can incorporate them into the videos. Take care. Bye for now.